F1 took to the track for the first time in 3 weeks today, and there's plenty to discuss. Let's get caught up with the latest in the F1 world. There's some big news coming out of Zandvoort as Daniel Ricciardo is out of the Dutch Grand Prix before it's even started. AlphaTauri has confirmed that Daniel Ricciardo has a broken metacarpal in his left hand following a crash in FP2 at the Dutch Grand Prix, and so will now be unable to drive for the remainder of the weekend. Daniel got caught up in Oscar Piastri's own Turn 3 incident and locked up while attempting to avoid hitting the McLaren which was in the barriers, unfortunately putting his own AlphaTauri into the barriers too. On hitting the wall, Daniel held onto the steering wheel, which snapped back on his hand, and he immediately complained of pain in his left arm over the team radio. Daniel was taken to the medical centre at the track to be looked over and was then taken onto a local hospital for x-rays on his left arm. Unfortunately, the team has now confirmed that his hand is indeed broken. Red Bull and AlphaTauri had two options for replacing Daniel, as their reserve Liam Lawson is present at the track, but reportedly, as he is still under contract, Nick De Vries could have been called upon too. Ultimately, AlphaTauri confirmed it will be Liam who takes over Daniel's AT04 for the rest of the Dutch GP weekend, a tough ask for his F1 Grand Prix debut. We hope Danny Rick gets better soon. How do you think Lawson will get on? It was a tale of two halves down at McLaren today. Lando Norris put in a stellar performance in FP2, beating home hero Max Verstappen to the top position this afternoon. McLaren have been feeling confident about this weekend as the track at Zandvoort and the predicted wet weather plays to their car's strengths. But today, Lando said that he feels 100% confident in being in the fight for qualifying on Saturday, despite acknowledging that there will be a lot of people fighting for the top spot due to the track's short length. Oscar Piastri, on the other hand, had a difficult FP2 as he suffered a crash early on in the session which saw him out of this afternoon's running. Prior to the incident, Oscar had been putting in solid times and said he was pushing a little bit too hard, which, around Zandvoort especially, can result in big consequences. Based on Lando's efforts, Oscar is feeling confident for qualifying, and the British team will be looking at the top positions despite today's setback. Where do you think they can qualify tomorrow? Nico Hulkenberg has avoided trouble after he impeded Max Verstappen in FP2. Traffic has been a big theme in F1 already this year, but around a tight track like Zandvoort it can be an especially big issue, especially as we head into qualifying. Max was on a push lap and was not happy to have to evade Nico on the entry to turn 13, who was queuing up to start his lap. The stewards considered that Hulkenberg had been forced to slow due to other cars in front of him, and given that it was in practice, chose to let him off with no further action, saying also that the closing speeds made it look more dangerous than both drivers agreed it had been. Drivers and teams will have to work hard on their communication about traffic for qualifying tomorrow, as that's when penalties usually get handed out. Alex Albon has had a mega start to his Dutch Grand Prix weekend as he earned top 5 finishes in both Friday practice sessions. Albon said that he has had a very good Friday with a good feeling in the car, but is warning everyone to be cautious over their overall qualifying and race pace as he feels everyone is going to make a bigger step tomorrow. Despite this, Alex is optimistic that the Williams can hold on to a good position in qualifying, but predicts that impeding and traffic will be a big problem in the session. Even though the on-track action is back, off-track, silly season rumours and news continues. Today it was rumoured that Zhou Guanyu may be out of a contract with Alfa Romeo by the end of the 2023 season, despite his achievement of decent results for the team. Reportedly, it comes down to budget, as Zhou's current contract is estimated to be around a $500,000 deal, but he may be looking for upwards of $2 million for any ongoing deals. The Sauber team is reportedly pushed for budget as their transformation from Alfa Romeo to Audi continues, and while Valtteri Bottas is on a much higher paid contract, he is locked in until the end of 2025, so the team would have to pay a significant severance to let him go early. But who could replace Zhou? Sauber's own junior driver Théo Pourchaire is reportedly among favourites to take up the empty seat, as he is currently leading the Formula 2 championship. Other possibilities include Felipe Drugovich, current Aston Martin reserve driver and 2022 F2 champion, who has been waiting in the wings for a call up to F1 since his victory in the feeder series. Do you think Alfa Romeo will retain Zhou for 2024? And with that, you're up to speed on the stories from the first day of on-track action in Zandvoort. Who do you think will be in the top 3 for quali tomorrow? Let us know in the comments and like this video if you enjoyed it. And for all the latest as it happens, subscribe to our daily email newsletter The Debrief through the link in the description, and of course, subscribe to Apex for the latest in the F1 world.